Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Nothing is more important than the safety of children. The aim of this orientation program is to create an awareness to support and challenge the staff of our own English High School in both protecting children online and providing children with the skill and understanding to protect themselves. With the paradigm shift in the teaching and learning and recent trends in the methods of pedagogy from chalkboard to that of integrated with technology, communication technologies have not only become a common and valued utility, but have become a means of curriculum progression leading to teaching and learning. The immersion of young people's life with these technologies means they swim in a constant ocean of new experience, conversations, and challenges wherever they are. Our school is committed to provide technology for teaching and learning and create safe and secure online environment for children to learning and their safety and well-being also. However, beyond the school, children continue to access that online would often without these same safeguards. So we need to strategize a proven set of standards, guidance, support, and metrics for our staff to build resilience, a strategy in our students, empower our staff, and support them in ensuring their students are resilient and our own staff are empowered and our parents are involved and highly informed. While there is no doubt that young people's internet use is on the whole overwhelming and positive and empowering, 24/7 open and transparent access to each other and the rest of online society can expose them to risk. So some of these risks are a part of child's natural development, but some have the potential to lead to harm. Some of these risks enumerated are content, what children and young people see online, contact, who they communicate with online, conduct, how they act online. So these can create a range of harmful behaviors that include online bullying and aggressive contact, access to inappropriate or illegal online content, online sexual predation, youth-produced sexual imagery, sexting, self-harm, identity theft, over-engagement with technology, example, gaming, social media, screen time, extortion and privacy, commercialization, and the impact of media on self-image and identity. Whilst most of these are met and taken care of on the school premises, most of these issues, they happen off-site and beyond the school's direct control. However, they continue to impact on the safety and well-being of our pupils, often being brought back into the school environment for the school to deal with. Hence, online safety awareness is essential as a part of school culture, permeating to all levels of the school, which is the aim and objective of today's online safety orientation for our staff. Dear staff, let me share my screen with you for taking you through the presentation, and I will navigate through all the essentials of the online safety with you. Well, this is an important safety training for all the staff, and I hope the staff is with me online here and they will register very carefully what is being shared with them. The school is committed to promoting and safeguarding the welfare of our staff and the students, and an effective online safety is of paramount interest and importance for us. To create safe, what is the objective of today's training? Please register this, it's very important. To create safe and secure online environment for staff and students on campus, and if issues are brought back to school, to be dealt and resolved in the most confidential manner. How do we achieve this objective? Develop online safety strategy and build resilience in our students and staff, empower our staff, parents' involvement, effective communication with all stakeholders, support from external agencies. So, eSafe framework. Let me share this information with you that very shortly our school will be taking an eSafety evaluation. This evaluation is basically to confirm if the school is promoting curriculum online with all safety measures and keeping the students' well-being, their emotional, physical, and mental development to alongside the curriculum progression. Now, the eSafety framework is focused around four main areas, four main elements. We will be evaluated in these four main areas, that is policy and leadership, infrastructure, education, standards, and inspection. So in the policy and leadership, there are a few aspects, and in infrastructure, there are a few aspects. In education, there are a few aspects. In impact and monitoring, there are a few aspects. There are 21 aspects, and every aspect has a few strands. So we will be evaluated for every strand in this way in 5 levels. There are level 1 to 5, and if the school is having these policies in place and these strands are effective enough and permeating down, then we will be considered in yes. See, for policy and leadership, we have online safety leader, online safety group, online safety policy, acceptable use policy, whole school policy, strategies for managing acceptable use, reporting, mobile devices, managing digital content, and professional standards. If all these strands and aspects are available, the policy and practice is inspirational, aspirational, and innovative, and permeates to all level. There is impact, monitoring, and the effect fell in the culture of the school environment. Then we will be in level 1. If the policies and practices coherent and just embedded, but it is not, the impact is not felt, and the culture of the school is not showing that impact in the relevant and specific manner, then we will be in level 2. If we have the basic e-safety policies and the practices in place, then we will be in level 3. If we have all the policies and practice being developed, but still they are not in practice or in vogue, and we have not reached that level, we will be just in level 4. And if there is little or no policies are in place, then we will be in level 5. So all these 5 levels are there. The E advanced level will be if it is level 1 and level 2. And if it is level 3, it will be a safe accreditation level. So at least every school has to aim to reach to at least level 3. But as per our SEF, which we have done, and we have seen the policies in place, the way it is being inducted, the way it is permeating, and the number of policies in place, the way we are sharing it with our parents and taking the feedback, and the way the impact is being felt in the culture of the school, we are aiming to reach at least level 2 and hope the entire staff, the parents, the management, all the stakeholders will support the school, cooperate with the senior leadership team to achieve this. So, as I said, policy and leadership, infrastructure, education, impact and monitoring. This is a PICE model, they call it as. In these 4 areas, we will be evaluated. So in terms of policy and leadership, I have enumerated whatever policies we need to have and what are the things which need to be in place. But in infrastructure, we have the password security, the filtering, the technical security, the protection of the personal information, which is with the e-safety infrastructure involved in the school, and the IT team is taking care of with the required resources available to them in the school. And in educational line, online safety education is being imparted through the curriculum by the teachers, by the digital citizenship leaders, the peers, and the counselors. And the principal has taken the orientation with the parents and with the teachers. I am now with you, and you will also similarly talk to your students about the digital safety, online safety, and you will see to it that this is imparted alongside the curriculum so that the students have the entire awareness of the safety, well-being, reporting methods, okay, and everything, how they have to access the online portals, and then how they need to keep themselves safe. The contribution of young people, digital citizenship, staff training is being done, parental engagement is involved. So we are doing our best in this area also, and we expect to reach at least level 2. Impact and monitoring. This is in the hands of the designated senior leaders, senior leadership team, management, principal, all the staff. We have to monitor how far we are promoting, how far we are creating the awareness for our students in terms of all the aspects of the policies, infrastructure, educational requirement, and their responsibilities and roles in terms of the online safety and digital citizenship. Online safety policy of our school is an integral part of the school improvement planning, and there are clear links to other relevant policies. I will be taking you through and enlist all the policies which we have in place, and you will get to understand what are these policies and how we aim to reach every aspect of the school e-safety through these policies in a different manner. You will get to know. Review of online safety policy, it is being evaluated by safety incidents, the safety logs, behavior logs, survey of staff, incident logs, students and parents improvised by evaluation. So the policy was implemented long back in April with digital safety policy guidelines, cyberbullying, anti-bullying policy, and the BYOD practices and guidelines. And we have reviewed, and we will be continuously reviewing and see to it that this permeates in the culture of the school. Now, online safety leader. The school has an online safety policy which has been shared by the parents, it has been shared by the teachers, and it has been shared with the students also. And the students, we are doing it through the counselors, through the class teachers. The safety, online safety awareness is being created. so that the safety policy is reaching to them in a age appropriate level and manner which it has to reach them. Okay. And the school has a designated online safety coordinator officer with clear responsibilities. This is from the IT team. Mr. Riaz is our online safety coordinator and officer, and he's responsible for monitoring the incidents, handling sensitive issues, including child protection. The people who will be collaborating with him in maintaining this aspect is the principal as a child safety officer and the child protection coordinator, Ms. Kanika, our counselor. And apart from this, all the teachers and the designated supervisors and leaders. Keep up to date with the latest risks to staff whilst using technology, familiarize them with the latest research and available resources for school and home. So this will be the task taken by Mr. Riaz, the online safety leader, and all of us need to support him in this aspect. Review the eSafe policies regularly and bring any matters to the attention of the principal. Advise the principal governing body on all e-safety matters. Our management and board of governors are in place, and they're always seeing to it that all the resources are in place, and they are with the IT team and with the senior leadership team with their advice and with the provisions of the resources, etc., to maintain online safety in our own English high school. Engage with staff on e-safety matters at school and at home. Liaise with the local authority and IT technical support and other government agencies as required. Retain responsibility for the e-safety incident logs. Ensure staff know what to report and ensure the appropriate audit trail. So whenever any incident occurs, you will immediately report the class teachers, you will report to your supervisor. Through the supervisor and the counselor, it will reach the IT leader. And if at all anything is pertaining to MS Teams platform, the IT leader can detect directly and take the responsibility of resolving and providing the required intervention as soon as possible. Retain responsibility for the e-safety incident log, ensure staff know what to report and ensure the appropriate audit trail. Ensure any technical e-safety measures in the academy, example, internet filtering, software, whether all these are fit for purpose through liaison with the local authority or ICT technical support, okay? Make themselves aware of any reporting function with the technical e-safety measures, that is internet filtering, reporting function. Liaise with the principal and responsible governor to decide on what reports may be appropriate for viewing. This is very important because when there are incident logs, any behavioral issues, any reporting brought to the notice, the confidentiality of the case has to be maintained as per the UAE law. Taking the snapshots, screening the person doing some mischief, misbehavior, or any text messages which are inappropriate, sharing from one person to the other is an offense, and it is a punishable offense of some amount. I exactly don't know the amount, but it is a punishable offense, and we need to be very careful when we are dealing with such sensitive matter. So please do be very careful with the UAE culture, the law of the land, and the rules and regulations for the schools for the online safety of the students and staff. Online safety group. The school has an active online safety group with wide representation from the designated leadership team, DSL, staff including child protection representative and students, and it has clear lines of responsibility and accountability. Guidelines are laid down, roles and responsibilities have been given to the online safety officer, to the data protection officer, to the designated leadership team, to the child protection officer, the child protection coordinator, and the representatives through the section heads and supervisors. The students have been designated as digital citizenship students or the leaders who will be talking to the peers and who will be creating awareness as regards to online safety and how to maintain appropriate behavior on the Microsoft Teams as a learning platform, and also when accessing the online content for their research and for completing their tasks or for any collaboration amongst the peers or with the teachers, etc. So all clear lines of responsibility and accountability are laid down, which are being followed and which will be monitored, evaluated, and revisited from time to time for these to be taken care of. Acceptable use policy guidance on the acceptable use of technology is provided for all users of technology on the school site, to the staff, to all the members and the students also, and the parents have also received this policy. So they will be taking care that their wards, they stand on the same page and follow the guidelines provided as such. These expectations are clearly and regularly communicated, and the guidance is aligned with the relevant existing policies, that is online safety policy, anti-bullying policy, cyber safety policy, and the password policy, computing policy. There are 18 policies which I will enumerate and tell you how all these policies are integrated for the whole school policy to be developed as an online safe school. The guidance is aligned with the relevant existing policies and embedded within the culture of the school. Whole school policy. The school has carefully considered its approach to online safety and provides a consistent online safety message to all members of the school community through a variety of media and activities that promote whole school input, including the newsletters. So we are promoting awareness through the newsletters, through banners, through posters, through the presentations in the classes, through the teachers talking to them, through the quotes, everywhere, for the students to understand what is online safety and what is the importance of being safe online, because this is at most of great value as of now due to this paradigm shift of teaching and learning and communication protocols all over the world. Reporting. There are clearly known and understood systems for reporting online safety incidents. The culture of the school encourages all members of the school and its wider community to be vigilant in reporting issues in the confidence that issues will be dealt with quickly and sensitively through the school's escalation and intervention process. If any student is chatting and collaborating with other students and is racist or mischievous or using inappropriate text or any signs, images, texting or anything which is inappropriate, immediately the teachers will identify, and if any student has reported, the student will be taken into confidence and counseled first not to speak to others, and this message will be given to the section supervisor excuse me, and the section supervisor will work out with the counselor and resolve it along with this online safety leader. And if the matter is serious, it will be brought to the notice of the principal, and the involvement of the principal will also be there, because the principal is the child safety officer of the school and has important responsibility of safeguarding the entire school's online safety and also the well-being, physical, mental, and social of the staff and also the students. Mobile device. There are clear expectations for the use of mobile device technology, including BYOD, that is bring your own device, where appropriate. Managing the digital content. Develop the use of social media technologies within the curriculum, that is blogging where there is relevant and age appropriate to learning. When the students are doing some research or taking some content online, the teachers, the staff need to train them to see the authenticity and credibility of the content, and if taken from somewhere, to quote from where it is taken and whether it is previously quoted by someone, give it as a reference, and no plagiarism. We have to teach the concept of plagiarism to our senior students, wherein they are taking certain amount of information as research work and involving in their own tasks. They have to be very clear and understand that this is not allowed, because there are copyrights issues associated with taking information which was already shared online. But if it is taken, it should be taken in a way with a purpose and clear mention of from where it is taken, from which side, okay? Either in the bibliography it should be mentioned, or here wherever the content is taken. Apart from this, when the teachers are also taking the content for the curriculum, please note that you have to stick to the UAE land, law of the land and the culture of the land. If there are certain things which are conflicting with the religious sentiments, and it might hurt the feelings of any particular religion, race, caste, creed, so we have to be very careful in using the digital content and use it safely for our teaching and learning. Professional standards, the school has in place policies and protocols for the use of online communication technology between the staff and other members of the school and wider community. Staff follow the relevant professional standards and other national guidance about these technologies. So you will be very careful about the professional values, about the knowledge and understanding, and the culture and the practice, and the cross-curricular links which you are giving and providing in your curriculum planning and delivery. This has to be taken care of. Password security. Passwords are an important aspect of computer security. A poorly chosen password may result in unauthorized access or exploitation of schools' resources. You know very well that our IT team is very mindful of that, and all users with access to school systems are responsible for taking the appropriate steps as outlined in the policy to select and secure their passwords, right? And if any content which is inappropriate, it cannot be shared through our school system, and the school has very strict password policy, and the computer security is taken care of, okay? So this policy is also being shared by you all, with you all. So kindly see to it and do follow the password policy also to maintain the password security. Filtering. Internet access is filtered for all users and regularly updated content is managed relevant to users' needs, and inappropriate content is filtered. Internet use is logged and regularly monitored. Our IT team is very effective and trying to have proper firewalls, and then all the content is really updated and it is filtered for all the users regularly. So we have assurance on this, and we will continue to support them. Technical security. The school has an effective technical security strategy. The senior leaders drive strategy development, okay? Network access requires user identification for all users. Devices and network equipment are physically secured and managed by our IT team. They're really doing a wonderful job. Antivirus and malware prevention is applied and regularly updated across the school system. Protecting personal information. The school has a comprehensive data protection policy which addresses issues such as the use of personal devices and those devices that move between school and beyond the school, and even the other features and applications like cloud storage, personal data monitoring, device management, and asset tracking, filtering, firewall rules and passwords. Everything applies, and protecting the personal information is important when all these aspects are in use and on your personal devices also. Online safety education. A planned online safety education program takes place and is fully embedded in all aspects of the curriculum in all years in other school activities, including extended provision. The entitlement of pupils, students in all year groups is met by a program that is mapped, audited, and regularly revised and revisited. So we have seen that the age appropriate presentations were available for the lower school, the middle school, and the high school, wherein the awareness as regards to online safety and the education parallelly along with the curriculum was also implemented in the school, and the students were very actively involved in posters, banners, and in newsletters. All the newsletters which have come up from the kindergarten to the middle school to the senior school, I have seen online safety being, given a major focus, and it has been portrayed very well through the newsletters. Digital citizenship. Pupils, students are taught in the majority of lessons to practice the skill of safe and discriminating online behavior and know how to validate the accuracy of information. They acknowledge copyright and intellectual property rights in all their work. Pupils, students understand the social and commercial implications of their use of technology and can communicate safely and appropriately with a range of different audiences in a variety of contexts. I have spoken to you elaborately about this, and I hope you are aware, and the same will permeate through you, through your words to your students. Contribution of young people. The school acknowledges learners from and uses the skills and knowledge of young people in the use of new technologies according to their creativity and research. Our students are very innovative. They are taking up projects in varied, innovative, and creative areas of technology and integrating it with their teaching. So it is always to be promoted, and they have to be encouraged and provided enough confidence for our children to grow and own the 21st century skills. Owning the 21st century skills is really very important, because this is the world which is providing a niche to the people who can survive technologically. So the trend should be maintained, and we as educators should see to it that the onus lies on us, that we make our students the survivors in this technological world and make them global leaders, so that they can find a niche for themselves, right? Staff training. There's a planned program of online safety training for all staff that is regularly revisited and updated. Staff are confident and informed in dealing with the issues relating to their own online safety and personal well-being. In this regard, I will tell you that the online safety team, the leaders, the section heads, the supervisors, the principal, and the senior leadership team had several meetings along with the IT team, which is highly effective IT team. And then we have devised the strategies, and we have seen to it that the trainings permeate to all levels, and there is a planned program of online safety training for the staff, which will be done, which I'm doing now with you, and we are sharing all the policies. Added to that, your section heads and your supervisors will consistently be focusing this in your departmental meetings, and that is how it will permeate to all levels, and we will be revisiting it from time and again. Parental engagement. The school provides regular opportunities for parents to receive information and education about online safety. There is evidence that parent online safety events communications are effective. Yes, in this regard, we have shared the online safety policy. There was the principals orientation program for the parents as regards to online safety. Plus, the teachers have already given the online safety program to the parents and the students in the classes. And there is a very encouraging feedback from the parents as regards to online safety orientation, which I had taken, the principal's orientation. And this feedback is highly encouraging for us that our parents are now really aware of the measures they need to take for their wards to keep them safe online. Monitoring and intervention of online safety incidents. Detailed monitoring of online safety incidents taking place that includes references to individual incidents within school which are confidentially dealt. Incidents beyond school and regular technical reports from system monitoring would be only to support parents if they bring to the notice of the authorities. If some incident has happened on the school, in the portal, on the school portal, while the students were learning, either on campus learning or distance learning, and the teachers have noticed, the IT team has noticed, or the students have collaborated and brought to the notice of the teachers and the concerned authority, we will take up the case immediately. But beyond school, as I mentioned, if the parents have noticed something and they bring to the notice of the school, very confidentially, this case will be dealt and proper intervention will be provided to resolve the issue. As of now, we have 18 policies as regards to the safety, online safety. All policies are being shared with the staff to ensure that they have read, understood, acknowledged, and ensure to implement for the online safety and well-being of our students. What are the policies? Online safety policy, acceptable use policy, behavior policy, anti-bullying, cyberbullying policy, PHSE policy, child protection safeguarding policy, computing policy, mobile policy, data protection policy. Our data protection officer is Mr. Umair. BYOD policy, social media policy, social media IT manager in this area, the IT officer for this area is rather Mr. Dean for the social media policy, online communication policy, staff induction policy, student induction policy, ICT policy, IT asset management policy, ICT firewall policy, password policy. So behavior policy, the child protection and behavior safety officer is the principal and the coordinator is the counselor of our school, Ms. Kanika. And all the supervisors, designated senior leadership team, the heads of the section and the supervisors are responsible for ensuring all these policies are permeating at all levels, in an age appropriate manner, and we are revisiting, monitoring and seeing to it that this permeates into the culture of our school and the system of the school and is embedded, and the impact is felt by each and every stakeholder of the school and also the wider community. Safe use of technology, use of the internet in school is a privilege, not a right place. So internet use will be granted to staff upon signing this e-safety and the staff acceptable use policy. Email, all staff are reminded that emails are subject to freedom of information requests, and as such, the email service is to be used for professional work-based emails only, right? And emails of a personal nature are not permitted through the school portal. Similarly, use of personal email addresses for work purposes are not permitted. Please do be careful and mindful about this, that any personal issues, any personal emails addressed to people for work within the school and outside the school, you should not be using your school email ID. because that is specific for your official work, dealing with the stakeholders of the school, within the school, it is permitted. Photos and videos, this is very important aspects. Working with children and young people may involve taking or recording of images. Any such work should take place with due regard to the law and the need to safeguard the privacy, dignity, safety, and well-being of students. Informed written consent from parents and agreement where possible from the child or young person should always be sought before an image is taken for any purpose. There are several activities taking place in the school. We are very happy to highlight our school in the media, in the community, and the work. We would like to share the students' achievements, celebrate our students' achievements, celebrate our staff's achievement. But you be mindful that when we are sharing this, you have the permission from the parents. So every section supervisor is advised, and every teacher, class teacher is advised to take permission from your parents, whether they want something to be shared on social media involving their children, the activities and all. And if they are having any reservation about this, we should be mindful that we will not share their picture anywhere, right? So this information is very important, and we need to have it before we use their images and before we use their photographs in social media anywhere. Excuse me and thank you. Safe use of technology, social networking. There are many social networking services available. Our own English High School is fully supportive of social networking as a tool to engage and collaborate with staff and to engage with the parents and the wider school community. So social networking is very important, and we collaborate with the staff to engage with the parents and with the wider school community, as I have mentioned earlier. And a broadcast service is a one-way communication method in order to share school information with the wider school community. However, some parents, schools, or businesses will be followed or friended on these services to allow two-way communication. Sometimes parents do have some special requests, or outside people from other schools are interacting with our people for involvement or engagement in their cultural activities or anything. So we have to have a two-way communication, but I'll let you know what it is. Social networking. In addition, the following is to be strictly adhered to. Permission slips must be obtained before any image or video of any staff or student is uploaded. There is to be no identification of students using first name and surname. First name is only to be used, okay? Where services are comment enabled, comments are to be set to be moderated. All posted data must conform to copyright law. Images, videos, and other resources that are not originated by the academy are not allowed unless the owner's permission has been granted or there is a license which allows for such use. Okay, we have to be very, very careful in this regard. And please, when you are posting anything, even the caption and the content should be checked, and it should be approved by your senior authority, whatever is being written or shared on the image or the video. Okay, right? And we should have the permission slips, as I mentioned before. So we have to be mindful of all these things when you use technology to propagate the work of the students and the staff in the media. Notice and take down. Should it come to the school attention that there is a resource which has been inadvertently uploaded and the academy or the school does not have copyright permission to use that resource, it will be removed within 1 working day. Please note this. and any incidents, any e-safety incident is to be brought to the immediate attention of the e-safety officer, or in their absence, the principal. The e-safety officer will assist you in taking the appropriate action to deal with the incident and to fill out an incident log. Incident log, and this policy is very important. It will be followed through the protocols, as I mentioned. If the technical issue is there and the IT team has identified, they will immediately directly resolve. If there is any behavioral or any other incident log noticed, it will come through the teacher to the section supervisor and section head, and then to the counselor, so that the counselor is getting involved in it and the matter is resolved. Okay. Safe use of technology. I'm continuing with that. Online sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is likely to violate a child's dignity, make them feel intimidated, degraded or humiliated, or create a hostile, offensive, or sexualized environment. Online sexual harassment, which might include non-consensual sharing of sexual images and videos, sharing sexual images and the videos, both often referred to as sexting, inappropriate sexual comments on social media, exploitation, coercion, and threats to be avoided. Be very careful about this and be mindful that senior students are there, the staff is there, so we have to have an ethos and a culture wherein the values teachers to be more modest. Any reports of online sexual harassment will be taken seriously. The police and government agencies will be involved. Sexting. All school staff should be aware that behaviors linked to sexting put a child in danger. Governing bodies should ensure sexting and the school's approach to it is reflected in the child protection policy. Of course, it is there, and we have taken a note of it. Staff training. It is the responsibility of the principal and the governing body to ensure that e-safety training for staff is regularly planned, up to date, and appropriate. Right? This was being done from March 22nd. We had digital learning and distance learning when we opted for this. From that time, there were guidelines shared with the teachers, with the parents, with the students, and we have been visiting for all the online safety guidelines for the online safety and well-being of the students. We had several programs for the staff. We had several programs, and now the e-safety and the online safety policy is being, permeating through the training from the principal to the staff, and from the staff to the students, and from the students in the community also, and from the principal to the parents also, right? So this is a chain, and we will be revisiting again and again to ensure through your section heads, supervisors, departments, section supervisors, so that this permeates and it is embedded and the impact is strongly felt in the culture of our school. Safe use of technology. Prevent duty. The school is fully committed to safeguarding and promoting the welfare of all its staff. Every member of staff recognizes that safeguarding against radicalization and extremism is no different to safeguarding against any other vulnerability in today's society. So be very careful, be mindful of extremist messages or any text or radicalization, racist feelings and all. We have to be very mindful and careful. We protect children from the risk of radicalization, for example, by using filters on the internet to make sure they can't access extremist and terrorist material, or by vetting visitors who come into school to work with pupils. So that is the reason we do not allow any visitors to come from outside and work with the school without the MOE guidelines and without the MOE permission, because we have to be very mindful, because this is a school and the organization's safety and well-being is very important in terms of all its staff, students, support staff, every individual, academic and administrative working in the school should feel that they are safe and they have a sense of belonging to the school, as the school takes all safety measures and ensures the accountability and credibility of all the factors which lead to the online safety. Our safeguarding online safety policy set out a beliefs, strategies, and procedures to protect vulnerable individuals from radicalized or exposed to extremist view by identifying who they are and promptly providing them with support. I hope we will continue to do this, and we will take care and be mindful through our board of governors, through the senior leadership team, the principal, and the other responsible officers. Online communication protocol. Objective: our own English High School Fujairah recognize the use of the official account systems is necessary, as other online mediums can place the school and others at risk. All staff at our own English High School must use the school email for all official communication. Please do remember, and if you have added the parents in your WhatsApp group, you have to be mindful that you have to be very careful, and this is not allowed from the school. And if all the teachers of one section are collaborating and have made a group, you should have the section supervisor also as admin in that group, so that whatever content is being exchanged is monitored. And better, all staff at our own English High School must use the school email for all official communication. I'm repeating this very carefully, so please be mindful of this. Online communication protocols. Staff are refrained to use personal email or social media such as WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram for any official communication. Staff are refrained from publishing the school news in their personal social media account. All school news shall be published in the school social media account. Please be careful. Staff are refrained to create any WhatsApp groups amongst colleagues. If any need arises for creating WhatsApp groups, the group should have the section supervisor as admin. Protocol for communication with students. Staff must restrict electronic communication with students to accounts, system and platforms provided by the school. Staff may not use personal wireless communication devices to text students and are prohibited from interacting with students through online social networking sites. Staff must decline or disregard invitations from students to interact through texting and social networking sites. Staff may not knowingly engage in online gaming with students. Communication with students should focus on matters related to instruction and school activities, and school employees should not initiate discussion about their private lives or the intimate details of the private lives of unrelated students. Please be very careful with this. Conversation with the students that could be interpreted as flirtatious, romantic, or sexual is prohibited. The sharing of sexually explicit or obscene jokes, verbal kidding of a sexual nature between school board employees, support staff, and students is prohibited. School employees may not conduct one-on-one group online meetings with students other than the school official communication channel without the knowledge of the principal. If this happens, we cannot stand by you and support you. So please do be very careful in this regard. Protocol for communication with students continued. Staff should not give their personal contact details to students. For example, email address, home or mobile telephone numbers, details of web-based identities. If students locate this by any other means and attempt to contact or correspond with a staff member, the adult should not respond and must report the matter to their line manager. The child should be firmly and politely informed that this is not acceptable. Not seek to communicate, make contact, or respond to contact with students outside of the purposes of their work. So we have to be very mindful in these aspects, because sometimes we become very passionate, we become emotional and say, our children need this, our children need that. Fine, they do need it, but inform your section supervisor and call their parents and inform what is required, if something is very urgent. Otherwise, all official emails. Okay. Teachers and other school employees must restrict electronic communication with parents to accounts, systems, and platforms provided by the school. Teachers and other employees may not use personal wireless communication devices to text parents and are prohibited from interacting with parents through online social networking sites. Teachers and other school employees must decline or disregard invitation from parents to interact through texting and social networking sites. Protocol for communication with parents. School employees should not initiate discussions about their private lives or intimate details of the private lives of unrelated parents. Conversation with parents that could be interpreted as flirtatious, romantic, or sexual is prohibited. I think I have done this. Guidance for safe working practice. Staff should ensure that they establish safe and responsible online behaviors, working to local and national guidelines and acceptable use policies with which have the details of how new and emerging technologies may be used. Okay? And communication with children both in the real world and through web-based and telecommunication interactions should take place within explicit professional boundaries. This includes the use of computers, tablets, phones, text, emails, instant messages, social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Microsoft Teams, Twitter, chat rooms, forums, blogs, websites, gaming sites, digital cameras, videos, webcams, and other handheld devices. Given the ever-changing world of technology, it should be noted that this list gives examples only and it is not exhaustive. Many new things will be added as technology becomes more sophisticated and there are new applications and features available. So please do take care of this, and communication with children should be very official and it should be in a most value-based and ethical approach from every staff member. Guidance for safe working practice. Staff should not request or respond to any personal information from children other than which may be necessary in their professional role. They should ensure that their communications are open, and this means that adults should not seek to communicate, make contact, or respond to contact with students outside the purpose of their work. I have done this. Not give out their personal details, use only equipment and internet services provided by the school or setting, follow their school setting acceptable use policy, ensure that their use of technologies could not bring the employer into disrepute, transparent, and avoid any communication which could be interpreted as grooming behavior. Please let me read out this last point and be with you on this last point. Ensure that their use of technologies could not bring their employer into disrepute, transparent, and avoid any communication which could be interpreted as grooming behavior. Means allowing certain aspects in the school culture that this happens in the school, they can get away doing like this. Okay, so please be very careful and do not give your personal details, use of only equipments, internet services which is provided by the school, or setting about the school or any acceptable use policy of the school, or the password logins of the other teachers, other students, or if you know other students' IDs and login this thing details, please do not share it with others. Be confidential in all these aspects. So yes, internet safety tips. Be aware of the school's internet use guidelines or policies. Don't allow possible problems stop you from making the most of technology. Technology is at most important in reaching the masses nowadays, the students, the media, the stakeholders, and the wider community. Discuss internet safety with your students regularly and authentically. Encourage parents and students to talk to you if there are any concerns about internet safety. Don't allow possible problems stop you from making the most of technology. Develop and publicize internet use policies for your students and families. Take time to find out how students are using the internet outside of class. Be a digital citizenship role model, including in areas such as research, etiquettes, copyrights, and plagiarism. Don't put anything online you would not want your colleagues, family, and friends to see. So, dear teachers, you are the most responsible staff members of the school, the most important adults, the most important individuals of the society who are carrying the onus and responsibility of grooming your children to be the most safe children with all the skills of, all the technological skills which are required for their survival in the 21st century to make them global leaders and technological citizens with digital citizenship. Dear staff, thank you for being with me, and please do read all the policies, understand, acknowledge, and sign the policies, okay? And send it back to your section supervisors that you have read, you have understood, and that will be permeating and it will be there in the culture of the school system, right? There is going to be a feedback form of this webinar. Kindly fill up the feedback form with your name, your section supervisor, okay? And all the feedback forms coming from you all should be collected by the section supervisor and the IT team and forwarded to the senior leadership team for this to be documented and maintained as a part of the feedback for the online safety policy and orientation. And this is a training for all the staff, and our staff are really very well trained. I'm so thankful, and I really thank you for taking out this 1 hour, exhaustive hour, I should say, after your teaching and learning. Thank you. Have a nice day.